Hello, and welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. Today, let's take a trip up to Niigata, which is one of the snowiest places in Japan, located on the Sea of Japan, so in other words, the west side of Japan. And it's a prefecture that is kind of long and narrow and has some tall mountains, and all the weather that comes off of the Siberia in the direction of Japan ends up dropping its moisture on Niigata, and the snow is just ridiculous there. It's also home to what claims to be the first microbrewery in Japan, and it is called Echigo Brewing. And Echigo Beer Company has just put out a 30th anniversary beer. So they claim that they are the first microbrewery in Japan. They may be. I don't know of anyone that's earlier than that. In any case, the founder of Echigo Brewing, his family had owned a sake brewery, but he was apparently trained as a stage actor and lived in Europe in the 1970s and 1980s. And the story goes is that he met a German woman and visited her in Germany and was quite impressed by German beer culture. And so when he came back to Japan, he decided he was going to start brewing beer. And I guess in his parents' facility, he naturally had a kind of head start to get that going. And he's put out a number of beers. 1995 is when they started. He got his license apparently in 1994 is when the Japanese government lowered the volume requirements to obtain a brewing license, which led to the first craft beer boom in Japan. And when did, I think Mino started in 1995, maybe Kuninocho in Osaka also, but I think that they started first here. So 1995 is when they really got going, and so this is their 30th anniversary beer. It's called All Nippon Koshihikari Ale, and I'm not sure about the style. We'll see what happens when we open it up. It's probably either a pale ale or a blonde ale. And this one has 14 ratings, or did when I checked Untapped, and the average was 3.52 out of 5, so pretty reasonable. Released on the 7th of February 2025, again to commemorate the 30th anniversary. And they use all domestic ingredients in this beer: malt, hops, and rice. And Koshihikari is a specialty rice. It's considered a very high quality rice, and it does come from Niigata Prefecture. And so the ingredients in this are malt, hops, and rice. Rice will lighten it up here. And it's apparently the first in a series of three beers that they're going to put out. So this one in February, the next one in April, and the third one in July. And the can illustrations, if you drink Echigo Beer, if you're familiar with Echigo Beer, you may know some of these illustrations here. And what they show are the musicians and dancers that are featured on some of the other Echigo beers. For example, Echigo Stout, Echigo Blonde Ale, Echigo Pilsner, for example, the premium red ale. And so in addition, apparently, they're going to have some anniversary events. Apparently they had one in February 8th and 9th at a craft beer bar in Tokyo. February 16th, they had one in their Echigo Beer Pub in Niigata. And on March 8th, they will have one in Hub Takada no Baba in Tokyo. So, okay. Well, so this beer, again, I'm not sure exactly what the style is. We'll find out. 5% alcohol. Don't know the IBUs. They don't specify that. At 327 yen, very reasonable price for craft beer these days at the store where I bought it, which would be $2.15 in US dollar terms. In euros, it would be €2.04. Let's give this one a go, shall we? If I can open it. Okay, it is a little bit dark, kind of orangish brown. Okay, you can see some carbonation snapping off the bottom there, and about a quarter finger of thin frothy foam. Okay, all right. Aroma. Blonde ale. It does have a light stone fruitiness. Something a little bit off on this, maybe. So it's lightened up with rice. Blonde ale. Well, let's try. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say it is a blonde ale. It has a moderate stone fruitiness. In mid-palate, it gets a bit weedy, grassy. Light bitter turn in mid-palate, and then kind of floats off. There are mild bitter tracks with a very slight metallic note in the end. Okay, yeah, it is what it is. I would feel that for such an anniversary, you'd probably want to do something bigger or more unusual, something more to really commemorate the 30th year. They've made a blonde ale, which is maybe not all that different from many blonde ales. And they've already made a blonde ale, which I think is probably a little bit better than this one, but in any case, I haven't had it for a while. Well, okay. Yeah. This is very drinkable. There's nothing special about it at all. You might want to go give it a try, especially if you're a fan of Echigo Beer. Echigo has been around again for 30 years, and they make solid beer, kind of middle-of-the-road beers. Their stout is generally pretty good, and the premium red ale is often nice too, as well. So, anyway, give this one a go if you want, and have a drink of beer with the goat. He's all dressed up for the occasion, and you don't have to, though. Again, this is called Echigo All Nippon Koshihikari Ale, 5%, probably blonde ale. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. Do take care. Hope things are going well where you are. A lot of the world is in a, I'm going to say a funk, but slow burn perhaps. Yeah, and anyway, okay, enough for now. Take care. Bye-bye.